break out.
Yeah, I can write it down.
Proactive.
Write it down
The
there.
huge reason Proactive is the number
Yeah, you
one
want to make sure you get that
It
right.
I know, and I
already
meant to
works.
bring
For
a
just $19.95, you'll get Proactive and a rotating deep cleansing brush. A
She
$45
informed me after
value.
about the
Yours
first or
free.
second
For
date
only
she decided I was
$19.95, you're
marrying
guaranteed
material.
to get clear.
See how
Stay
helpless
clear,
guys
or your
are?
money back. Here's the number: 1-800.
Yeah, well, we don't tell everyone that.
Okay.
We don't tell everyone
Yeah.
that.
Well, good morning. It's time for today's expanded AM Minnesota program. Of course, Gordy over at the Goodhue County Fair, and I got three delightful young ladies with me here in the studio. Too bad, Gordy. We're going to be talking about the ride. Of course, a couple ladies I've known for a while. Maybe they aren't real happy about that. Darla Kosanda with the First United Bank, and Darla, you and I have known each other for, well, a while. Let's put it that way. Actually, I think I knew your dad and the boys before I got to know you.
Yes, you did.
And also Mona Kaiser with the Faribault Senior Citizen Center. And Mona and I knew each other for a number of years before we realized that my wife and Mona were from the same hometown, Arlington.
Absolutely. It's a small world, and that's a small town, so making that connection. In fact, I think the same church and maybe the same grade school.
Yeah.
So, crazy.
Yep. One of those times when you start just rolling your eyes and saying, it's a small world.
It is a small world, absolutely. Yes.
And also Erica Staab-Absher. And Erica, tell us a bit about yourself and how you got to know and have the privilege of working with these two characters.
Well, I've known Darla for a while because we used to work together back when it was Norwest, and so I've known her for a long time. And then now that I'm at Hope Center, when they were looking to expand the ride, Darla thought of me, so that I was very thankful for that. And Mona was on our board, so Mona and I being directors of nonprofits, we tend to know each other in this little circle, so we've known each other for a while as well.
You know, I remember a few years ago I hosted a special AM Minnesota, and back then it was the Hospice ride, if I remember correctly. So how did all that change?
It changed this year with the 9th annual due to the fact that Faribault Area Hospice now is part of Alina Hospice. And so because Faribault Area Hospice doesn't have the same existence here, we still are offering hospice services through the funds raised. So this year we decided, because of the amount of funds raised, we wanted to contribute and benefit more people in the Faribault community. So the United Faribault Foundation, which is connected with First United Bank, decided let's look and see what other nonprofits are out here that we could benefit and touch more lives in the Faribault community. And so this year we decided we wanted to we touch base with the Senior Center, Mona, and with Erica at the Hope Center to see if they would like to be a part of this. And then we also have some hospice volunteers that are part of our committee that have been putting this whole thing together behind the scenes before the day.
Well, this is the classic example of, I like to say, new math. Organizations partnering together, working together, and all of us 2 + 2, and you end up with 5 or 6 or 7 instead of 4.
Yeah, so no, I'm excited about this year, and it's been really fun working with these two this year, and then and also with the, getting to know some of these hospice volunteers that have been behind the scenes for so many years at Faribault Area Hospice.
Most families have been touched by one hospice organization or another, maybe something, Erica, like the Hope Center, but boy, I don't know if big communities rely on these type of organizations. I suspect they do, but we really do here in smaller communities.
Absolutely. I do. Hope Center serves over 750 people on average each year, and so
750.
Yes, yep, and that's for only Rice County. We serve Rice County, and all of our services are free and confidential, and so people seek us out, and we know that there's more people out there, so that's why things like this are so exciting, to get the word out, to have people learn more about Hope Center, and to have a new variety of people that want to help and support us.
So tell us more exactly about the Hope Center.
Well, we are an advocacy agency serving victims of domestic and sexual violence, and so whether it happened 10 minutes ago or 10 years ago, we try and help people work through that.
And say that there's an old saying that time heals all wounds. Sometimes it doesn't, does it? Without maybe some professional help.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's why we're here. And it is interesting to have people come back and say, I've never talked to anyone about this. They kind of just tuck it away for a while until they're able to deal with that. And so a lot of times that's how people find us, is they hear about our support group and they say, I've been out of the situation for a while, but I've never really dealt with some of the issues and feelings around that. So we're gonna come and seek some help. So that's why we're here for any stage of the experience.
And of course, we all know about what the Senior Citizens Center does. And I was driving somewhere once, Mona, and I was listening to you on the air with Gordy.
Yeah.
And Gordy asked how old you had to be a member of the Senior Citizens Center. And I didn't think I was old, and I realized I qualified. I almost drove in the ditch.
Oh, please. There's worse things than getting old. You know that, Jerry. Membership age is 50. So right now our membership is at about 800 paid members. So as you are aware, there's a lot of programs and services. We put together our signature program as our dining program. And of course, people might also be aware that we're raising money for a capital campaign. So we want to serve even more people. And the younger senior, as you are, when you will be retiring maybe someday.
Unfortunately, I passed 50 a number of laps back.
Yes, haven't we all? Haven't we all? So yeah, 50 is the age. And let me also say that the invitation to receive funds from this ride is like such an honor for us at the Senior Center. My two favorite agencies are the Faribault Senior Center and the Hope Center. So I was like so excited to be asked to be part of this, and we're trying to hold up our end, and we're getting volunteers, and we're going to meetings. So we really are working hard on our end to try to make this successful event on Saturday.
And quickly, we're making progress on raising funds for the big addition.
Absolutely. The goal is 2.1 million, and we have 1.1 million. So we'll be kicking off our second round of funding, or our requests, fundraising this fall. We have an architect hired, and we should have some actual blueprints and drawing site plans and stuff happening right now. So
it's just going to be right there on the present site, right, in expansion.
Correct.
Right there, right?
We're going to add on to what we have now. 5,500 square feet is what we have. We'll be adding another 11,000. So
sometimes it's more than the things you do with the good nutrition and the meals that are available. Sometimes it's just having some place to go and socialize. I mean, we're social animals, and so many people sometimes retire and maybe they work so hard all their life that they haven't gotten any hobbies or getting involved in other things. You start hanging around down there, I expect you can be involved in a lot of things pretty quickly.
And that's the benefit of this event, is that the money that's being raised is going to help do those things. Because we're a nonprofit, we're a standalone, we're not part of the city of Faribault, as many people believe.
Yeah, because you're right there next to the...
Yeah, we have to raise our own money. And so the funds from this event are just really crucial to us being able to continue to serve even more people. So we had 17,000 participants in one thing or another last year, so duplicated, but we're touching a lot of people. So this money is like so important to us. So we really hope that people will be come on out. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. I'm anxious to hear.
We're getting kind of carried away here. All of us will run out of time, so maybe we better talk a bit about the ride, some of the details. Who's going to take that first?
Go ahead, Darla.
Well, I can share all that information. So it is the 9th annual ride. It takes place out at Faribault Harley-Davidson. It's for motorcycles and cars. We do have cars leaving at 10 o'clock on a guided route. And then the motorcycles this year will be on one guided route at 10:30. But cars or motorcyclists can also do a self-guided route. There'll be maps where they can go out on the route by themselves. The morning kicks off with a breakfast. Hy-Vee is doing breakfast for $5 at Faribault Harley-Davidson, and it's a really good breakfast for $5. So even if you're not riding, you can come out for the breakfast. Come out, see the cars line up, watch the cycles line up. Justin Kane out at Faribault Harley-Davidson does a magnificent job of getting the cycles to rev up beforehand while they're lining up. And so
better wear your ear protection, OSHA approved.
Or listen to Power 96 that morning, and you'll be able to hear it on that show, because Mike will be out there live, and so he'll have that, and you'll be able to hear those cycles just revving up, and so that's really kind of fun. So then when the cycles leave, we have when they're Coming back, we have food in the afternoon. We have music by Low Rumble 2. That'll be going on from noon till 2. We have bucket drawings, so we have wonderful donations from businesses and individuals throughout the Faribault community that have donated items for bucket drawings and for silent auctions, so that type of stuff is happening out there. And then we also have a wonderful raffle ticket that has been sold the last couple of months and will be sold the day of, and they're $10 raffle tickets with great prizes. And then this year we had a quilt donated again, and
Ooh, a homemade quilt.
oh, it's gorgeous. Eagle quilt, and it is a queen size, and it's just, she did just a phenomenal job.
You know, it was really
I
neat.
remember her first name, but I'm blanking out the last name at the moment. So
welcome to my world. Maybe it's that Mona alluding to it. We aren't quite as young as we used to be, so that. But I was in a county.
Sue Pitts. Sue Pitts donated this homemade quilt, and like I said,
I was
it's
at
gorgeous.
a county fair once, and there was a grandmother there with her granddaughter and teaching her granddaughter, passing on that skill of being able to quilt.
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and so we'll have that on display that day, and we'll be selling tickets that day for that drawing, and all the drawings start taking place at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at Faribault Harley-Davidson.
So if you buy a raffle ticket, then there's a lot of different drawings you have an opportunity to win. There many times there's like one grand prize, somebody wins everything.
Yeah, no. On our raffle tickets, I believe we have 10 different drawings going from cash prizes. I believe there's 9 cash prizes. There's a 5-night stay in Orlando, a shopping spree at Faribault Harley-Davidson, Visa gift cards, a bouquet a month from Bloom Floral, 3 massage 1 hour from Sue Jamison, and 4 lift tickets from Welch Village, and then acoustic Ritz tickets from Shattuck St. Mary's. So a lot of stuff happening on that raffle ticket. Then we have the quilt raffle, and then like I said, we right now I believe we have 30 buckets and like 15 silent auction items.
Well, it really sounds like you got a lot of different businesses and individuals in the community doing what they can, giving something to raffle off or helping sponsor something.
Yeah, and our sponsorships too. I believe right now I want to say our sponsorships are up around, I want to say it's like 23,000 that we've gotten sponsorships so far from businesses and individuals donating, towards these causes. Or organizations, I should say, and so that's just exciting to see the support in that also.
Erica, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I had the one of my jobs that I was doing was calling people to ask for donations for the raffle, and usually that's not always a fun thing, but it was amazing because every time I called, oh yeah, of course. And I didn't have anybody that said no. There was one person who said, well, let me check what I have in the back and call me back, but everybody else is like, oh, of course I'll do that. And so it's just fun to be surrounded by people in this community who want to give and share what they have.
And that's also kind of a kudos to the Senior Center and to the Hope Center and to the First United Bank Foundation. Obviously, they knew what this was going for and to help the community.
And I think the fact that it's got some longevity, this is the 9th annual, and people now recognize it. And even though the funds used to be only for hospice, it's still recognized by people in the community. All the name now changed is to The Ride, but that makes a difference when you've been around a while, and it gives you the credibility, and people go, oh, of course I'll give. I give every year, so that's important too. So people are just over the top with their support.
Well, go ahead, Erica.
I apologize. I was just going to say, I think part of that too is because it's well run. Darla does an amazing job of keeping track of everything, all the spreadsheets, all that. There's so much work that goes on behind the scenes before it's actually done, but because of all the work that's done behind the scenes, when it goes, it's a seamless thing. And so everybody knows what they're doing, everybody, because there's a lot of volunteers involved in this event, and, everybody has their job, everybody has their time slot, and so it's all organized, and I think that part of the reason why it is so successful is because of the way that Darla handles it and just pulls it all together. So.
Yeah, and the individuals maybe that volunteered to help and do this last year, oh, that was fun.
Of course.
So they're back
Right.
to do it again, and they kind of know what they do. So
Yeah.
you just call them, are you on for this year, I suppose? And they tell Darla, yes, we are, and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Absolutely. And I bet there's 50 different volunteers. I never totaled up the list, but I'll bet there's 50 different people that are doing different things, from selling T-shirts to selling tickets to, you know, and then besides the behind-the-scenes people that couldn't be there, you know, that can't be there on Saturday, they still are helping in a lot of different ways. So you're right. Darla is a great leader on this ride, and so we would not be at this point if it weren't for her leadership.
And the raffles. $10 for a raffle,
Yeah.
and then there's numerous prizes. You don't have to be present to win, so maybe somebody would like to be there on Saturday, but you know, it's a busy time. So even if you buy a raffle ticket, you're supporting the cause, right?
And by the way, I want my raffle ticket stub back, because you are not winning that off of that. That's mine.
What if I pay $10 for it?
But I can set you up, Gordy.
Oh.
I have raffle tickets, and I have a deal for you: 2 for $20.
Oh.
So there you go.
Or Erica will say, no, we'll give you 3 for 20.
Oh, no, she'll
30.
be
Exactly, yeah.
So the raffle tickets are available at the Hope Center, the Senior Center, First United Bank, and at Fashion Sun Central. So, you know, you still can buy your tickets up until or at the event on Saturday. Again, I just encourage people to come out, even if you aren't planning on riding, just come out for the festivities.
Or the raffles will be available for another about 15 minutes yet here at KDHL Studios. Around one of these ladies on the way out the door, right?
That's true.
Definitely.
Erica, it looked like you were going to say something before too. Did you want to add?
Just that it's gonna. I agree. It's gonna be fun, and I think even if you don't ride, just there's so much to do, and it's fun. And I know a lot of kids love cars and they love motorcycles, and you know, it'd be a fun family event too. So it's not just the people that are riding. It's just really for everybody. And you know, if you love music, there you go. And good food. They're gonna have great food out there. So there's just a lot of things going on. And then afterwards, you can go down to the barbecue festival. So stop over here first,
up there
and
in
then
the
head on
morning.
over there. So it's a full day of fun in Faribault.
And in terms of what can be in the ride, any motorcycle, any car, would Jerry's car with 303,000 miles qualify, or maybe I could get the one out of the shed with 319,000?
Yes, any make and model of motorcycle, car are welcome. You can visit our website at www.ridefbo.com and check out pictures from the past years. But yeah, no, any make and model of car. And then also, I also want to recognize the volunteers that, you know, are the lead riders, you know, that lead the cars. And then also for the motorcycles, we have numerous volunteers that are totally behind the scene that, you know, we're not even aware of, that are, you know, volunteered to lead and be a part of controlling the group that goes out. And so actually the ride wouldn't take place without those volunteers.
And in terms of the route, I assume it's probably a fairly scenic route that's been devised out around the lakes, and a lot of people maybe don't realize how beautiful it is out in the country here.
Yep.
You get down where I grew up in south central Minnesota, all you have was big square fields and a mile and a township road. And when it first started coming up here, I could almost get lost out in the country because there's not a lot of straight roads because you're going around all the lakes.
Yes. Dennis Aldrich actually takes care of our route for us, and so we planned a new route this year, and it does go between Rice County and Le Sueur County, and so it should be a new scenic route this year on that piece. The other thing is Faribault Harley-Davidson is just a wonderful host to have to hold this event.
Well, they have a beautiful facility, huge parking lot.
Yes,
what more could you-
yeah. Ann does a wonderful job in marketing it and sending out email blasts and having her staff available that day to help out. Yeah, they just do kudos to Faribault Harley-Davidson.
Sounds like a fun time, and too bad I have to be at the Goodhue County Fair in the morning and then the Dakota County Fair. But I might, I was just going to let you know I will win one of those raffle prizes. I just wanted to warn
You're
you
not
about
going to
it.
win off of the ticket you have in front of me, but we're going to sell you one before we leave. There's no
Or
doubt
2 for
about
20.
Or 2 for 20, absolutely. Yeah. We're really looking forward to it. I'm not sure what the weather is going to be.
Well, the forecast.
Oh, please.
Oh, John threw it away. Where was I had my detailed forecast. I want to say high in the low to mid 70s and sunshine on Saturday.
Are you kidding? Did
Yeah.
you make that up?
No,
that would
that's
be
what
like
it said.
perfect.
Really warm today and
That would be
tomorrow,
perfect.
some rain and
Yeah.
thunderstorms, and then nice Friday and nice Saturday.
You know, that's going to make a great impact on the attendance, because I think from what I understand, people kind of wait and see what the weather's going to do, because you can sign up. You sign up right there. You can sign up ahead. Is that still an option?
That wraps up today.
Okay, all right. But you can sign up at the event right at the registration table, and that's pretty common for people to sign up right there, because then they know $25 and then $5 for the passenger. So,
Yeah,
and
I
all
was
that money
wondering if
goes
there were,
into.
I've been on some tractor drives, and
Yeah.
usually there's a fee for that to cover expenses and everything. So I was going to ask you about the fee for a drive.
Yep. $25 is to participate, and then $5 for the passenger. So, and those are all funds that go right into this event, so into the proceeds. So.
And I'm sure at least the ones that I've been on with the tractors, there's a list of do's and don'ts and some things in terms of, being responsible. So I assume that's on the website or.
They have there's a waiver that they'll sign, and that's all listed on the waiver. So they have, when they come out and register, then make the $25 donation, then they sign a waiver form also at that time.
And Erica's organized, so I assume she's looking up the weather.
I've
was
got
I
the
was
weather.
was I pulling your leg or?
No, it's going to be beautiful. Mostly sunny, 77 degrees, 10% chance of rain. I'm thinking that that's going to be a glorious day for us.
Aren't you impressed? I read the forecast about 7-8 times this morning, so I did remember it was supposed to be nice.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Boy, it sounds like a great event. 9th annual. And I've been involved in a number of different things like this, and you know what, the first year, second year, there's something about that history and tradition and people spreading the word that, boy, I really enjoyed that last year, and then it's more fun, or it just gets bigger the next year and the next year.
I do think the leadership at First United Bank is also really important. I know that Ken Betzinger was one of the original founders of the event. He couldn't be here today, but he has a real passion for hospice programs, and so when it started, I know that that was the focus of this event. So I really appreciate the leadership at First United Bank making this happen and doing it for 8 years and letting us be part of the 9th year. So the First United people are just great community leaders too. So they've been very, very supportive.
And even if families haven't had the need of hospice, it's probably just a matter of time. My dad passed away last fall, and because I had 2 sisters out in Sioux Falls, my mom and dad went out there, and then there was some hospice house in Sioux Falls, and it was just so nice. I couldn't believe it was like they had their own private room and a family area. So you didn't feel like you were in a facility, but then you walked out, well then you realized, because there were nurses and but then you could just enjoy your time together, and you weren't so involved in trying to keep your loved one comfortable.
The United Faribault Foundation has taken funds from last year's ride and has donated it to the Homestead Hospice House in Otana, because they do care for Rice County patients, and they have an amazing facility over there, and it's just exactly like what you said. And talking to families of people that have used it, that their parents or a loved one has been there, they just highly recommend it and say the experience was just so fitting. And so again, so some of the proceeds have gone to help support, and what we've given the money there for is for them to have like scholarship money. So if someone can't afford the daily cost, they can apply and then receive 30 days of funds to help to cover that cost. So that's what we have already donated money from the previous ride to that to help cover for Rice County citizens that want to use that facility.
Roger, when he owned the Culvers in Owatonna, we used to have our farmer appreciation breakfast there. And there was one year he asked if the hospice house could come, because they were doing a fundraising drive, and fortunately I only met him once, but whoever was in charge, I can't remember his name, but I was visiting with him on the air, and right what you said, Darla, he said something I'll never forget. He said, no matter whether you can pay or not, no one dies alone.
Oh.
And isn't that, and so what a cause to help raise money for a facility like that. Now, fortunately, my dad had insurance and he had everything, so it wasn't an issue. But there are families that couldn't afford a facility like that, and he said no one dies alone. Or like maybe you don't really have a family.
Yeah.
No one dies alone.
So like I said, or I should say, like Mona said, this did start with Ken Betzinger. He was the current, just the previous CEO of First United Bank. When he saw that there was a need, in town, and had approached Ann Hoffmeister and started the first ride. The first ride really wasn't successful. The bank ended up putting in money to make sure that we had a little bit of a profit on that one. But after that, then met up with some individuals that ran a ride in Rochester and found out what we needed to be doing. And so first year ended it was like $2,000. The next year we raised $12,000 for the next couple of years. Last year we raised $44,000, but the 2 years prior, one was $50,000 and one was $56,000.
And we have a good start already, didn't you allude to, with everything that's lined up so far?
So we have a good start already, but again, just coming out and participating in the buckets, participating in the silent auction, buying raffle tickets, coming out for breakfast. All that little bit, just, come out, participate, socialize with people. It's just, a really nice community activity.
And because Erica was in charge of the weather, she got us a nice forecast.
I
So there's a reason that we decided to partner with the Hope Center, right? Mona Erica was in charge of the weather.
Well, that's a brand new job description for you, Erica.
That comes under all duties as assigned.
Yes.
That fine print down at the bottom.
We all have that line item.
Just like being on the radio with Jerry.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. I do think that it would be a fun thing, if people decide to come out to our event, which should be the priority, the Downtown Festival. It'd be a really full day. A lot of people have put a lot of work into all of these events. And so supporting Faribault, is what you're doing by coming to this. You're supporting Faribault. You're supporting nonprofits. You're supporting people that go to these nonprofits or take advantage of it. So you really are doing something for your community, along with having a little fun also on your own.
What's wrong with having some fun too, right?
No, that's exactly right. Exactly right. Live music and food and buying a T-shirt and seeing Harley Davidson. That is like an amazing facility out there. I do not know much about that place, but now since these meetings, it's like a whole nother world. It's
just
gorgeous.
Wait till you see some of those beautiful bikes that come in with.
Right.
I can't wait.
My.
I can't wait. It's quite the place and
the only way you can make this better is it expanded and have some tractor drives with it. That's for next year.
That'll be next year.
I think volunteer.
Are you on the committee?
Yeah, I'm in charge of that next year.
Try to keep up with those bikes though, Jerry.
They might be faster, but my tractors might be bigger.
That's true.
We'll do a special route just for you.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We only have about 3 minutes left, but we better go over the details again on Saturday. Is that you again, Darla?
Sure, I can do that. So again, the schedule is breakfast, 8:30 to 10:30.
For everybody?
For everybody. Come out for breakfast. Actually, it's scrambled eggs, sausage, biscuits and gravy, coffee.
Real breakfast then.
Real breakfast, yes. A good hot breakfast to get your day started. And registration is 9 till 11. Again, cars are leaving at 10 o'clock for the group lead, and motorcycles are leaving at 10:30 for the group lead. But people are also welcome to go out on the self-guided route. Music is from noon until 2, and then we have the music by Low Rumble 2. Food in the afternoon is by CNS Vending. Forgot to say breakfast is by Hy-Vee. And then we have all the bucket drawings, the silent auction, the raffle tickets, the quilt raffle. A lot of other festivities going on in the afternoon. All the drawings take place at 2 o'clock, so come out and, buy some chances and stick around and see see if you're lucky enough to be a winner.
And the website once again.
The website is theridefbo.com. So, theridefbo.com.
And then, of course, go there too, and all the information, the details. And I assume you probably have a lot of all the people that sponsors and.
Yes, all of that is out on the website, so you can look at who's all been sponsors and donors so far.
And of course, oh,
The
Erica?
Facebook page as well, so.
Yes,
you
I'm
can-
sorry,
Oh,
yes,
we
on
are
Facebook
really-
also.
Facebook page.
And who's the computer geek that's in
Yeah,
charge
I'm
of
in
it?
I'm in charge of that, so.
The younger one in the crowd is in charge.
Most
Notice how that
definitely.
happened. Not even gonna go there.
Thank you, Gordy.
What's going on?
And we're on to the next thing.
I'm not sure exactly why that started playing. I think I must have bumped the mouse or something.
Screw
See,
Jerry
just
has
just
visited again.
just speaking of computers and Jerry, sometimes maybe we don't mix too well. Anyway, we've got a live break coming up here in about 40 seconds. So Erica, it was nice meeting you. Thanks for coming by with the Hope Center in Faribault. Mona Kaiser with the Senior Citizen Center, of which I could already be a member for 11 years. And Darla Kosanda with the First United Bank. Sounds like a great time, all going on this Saturday. And because Erica was put in charge of the weather, she might be in charge of the weather next year again. Now, what do you think?
Definitely, we'll put her in charge of the weather with this results.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Jerry.
You are listening to KDHL Radio in Faribault.